watching Ben Television. We now have amongst us a lady. Lady Yemi Akinola, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Good morning, viewers, and it's good to be back. We have been off air for quite a while, so it's good to connect back with our people.
Yeah, before we were off the air, you went to Nigeria, didn't you?
Yes, I was in Nigeria for quite a while.
Give us a summary of what you saw.
Nigeria, well, it was a couple of weeks back. Things change every day. But while I was there, I think the people were very hopeful. They were thinking that 2019 would bring about something a bit different from what they have, experienced over the past few years. The change that was promised then, I think they're still expectant of that change. There has not been real there's not been real physical manifestation of that change on ground, so to say, in terms of how money, yes, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of employment, in terms of people having the physical cash to be able to do business and move around. So I think people are still expectant on that note, and hopefully 2019 would bring the change that they desire.
Now, I know you won't mind me to say this. Everybody knows you are from Ekiti. And we want to discuss Ekiti right now. Now, the politics we have seen in Ekiti looks like do or die. One police officer even accidentally discharged his AK-47 and accidentally hit Okoyemi Bamidele, a gubernatorial aspirant, and so many stories around that. But the latest is that the IG has dismissed that mobile police officer. Tell us of your own view of the APC wranglings and culminating into the shooting at the APC headquarters.
Okay. Before I say that, this seat is still quite warm. It was sat on recently by a presidential aspirant.
Yeah.
And that is to tell you that good things are yet to come for 2019. I believe that 2019 is going to be very different. We're going to see things done a bit differently from what we're used to. May I use this medium to congratulate Mr. Dr. Ali Shoyode on his ambition as a political aspirant for the 2019 presidential elections. We do wish him all the very best. Now, going back to Ekiti State. Ekiti is a hot spot.
Why? What makes Ekiti so special?
That is the question that a lot of people ask. We wonder why the focus is so much on Ekiti State. And I want to believe because, you know what our slogan is, we're people of knowledge, we're people of dignity. And I want to believe that a lot of things would happen from Ekiti State if given the right leadership. Now, with the APC elections that were recently held, it happened twice.
Yes, of course we know. We're following.
The first time, we were not quite sure what happened, and then, another one was called for. And even with the second one, a lot of people were, agitating what was going to happen. I'd like to use this opportunity also to congratulate the APC aspirant that was elected.
Dr. Fayemi.
Dr. John Kayode Fayemi. Congratulations. Well deserved. And I want to use this opportunity also to call on all Ekiti people.
How about the PDP aspirant? You are supposed to be non-partisan.
No, I haven't finished.
Oh, you haven't finished. No, she hasn't finished. I'm
just moving on.
Okay,
you asked about the APC in particular.
All right.
So I wanted to finish with that.
All right.
I wanted to call on all people of Ekiti State to be, to put, if possible, to put party ideologies aside and try to work for the good of Ekiti State. Ekiti is a state that has abundance in terms of resources and human power. You know that we are very, very well educated and we are able to bring a lot to the table when it comes to national issues. But the problem is that Ekiti people should unite and put up a unified front to be able to put Ekiti where it rightly deserves on the Nigerian map and, of course, internationally. I'd also want to congratulate the PDP aspirant candidate, yes, the present Deputy Governor of Ekiti State, on your nomination, ticket.
Eleka, they call him?
Yes.
What's the meaning of Eleka? Okay, maybe you didn't know. I don't know. But that's his name. It's Kola, isn't it?
Yeah.
Professor
Kola
Eleka
or something.
Okay.
Yes. So we Sorry?
All right. We give you more time to say something.
Yeah, so we congratulate him as well. And don't forget there are other parties, not just the PDP and the APC. Everybody that has been elected to run for your party, please do so with decorum. And let's bear in mind that the good of Ekiti State is what is at stake here. And let us also, work in unity. That's all I can say.
Gossip. Opemi Bamidele was fired. What's your take?
I don't know what he was looking for, who fired him was looking for. Both of them must be looking for something while they miss each other. The truth here is this, before I go to Ekiti State, let me correct Mr. Remy Martins. If you remember, there was a memo that was passed at Aso Villa a couple of months ago. And that memo was meant for all civil servants in the federal level on how to address Mr. President. And the memo reads that Mr. President should be addressed as Mr. Muhammad Buhari without the president.
For real?
For real, the memo. Go and look at it. It's there, online, everywhere. So when Remy Martins is going about saying that Buhari, how can you say Buhari is greater than Trump when somebody went to America cap in hand begging? And you say it's greater than Trump.
He said for Trump, you could call Trump, Donald Trump, and it's acceptable in their culture. But in our culture, you have to bow to say President Buhari.
No. We are in the culture he's talking about could be from his own community or his own village. Mr. Buhari is Mr. Buhari. If he likes, he can go and answer any other thing. I've not made any error by calling him Buhari or Mr. Buhari. If he's a man of honor, he will accept it and move on. That's okay. Secondly, on Ekiti, you asked my very socialist friend here about what makes Ekiti tick. And he said, because Ekiti people are learned. Very fair, fairly enough, I agree with him. But what makes Ekiti tick and crisis-like at the moment is because some people are hell-bent to dismantle Fayose and his machineries in Ekiti State. Fayose has remained a thorn in the flesh of this present government for the last 3 years. And anything that would send Fayose to oblivion and send Fayose to the wilderness, APC is willing to do and undo. And that is the case in Ekiti. And unfortunately, I am glad to say here that Ekiti will be an unfortunate state if they, by mistake, eventually vote Mr. Fayemi as governor of Ekiti State.
Mr. Fayemi? It's a democracy. They vote whoever they like.
Well, they vote for whoever they like. But the truth is, you should, I keep saying it, when people say, this is the savior, this is the savior, I keep telling them, the angel of the devil you know is better than the angel of light you don't know, who comes in different lightnings. And by the time he lands, he starts firing thunder all over the place. Thunder.
Okay.
Just like Mr. Buhari is firing hunger, he's firing hunger and poverty all over the place in Nigeria.
Now, seriously, this Ekiti matter, we need to be civil in this election, and it's getting out of hands.
Well, before I go there, let me quickly touch the issue of calling Mr. President or President PMB or whatever. I learned this many years back, many years back, during the time of Awolowo, when he went to court to challenge his losing the election in 1983. And when he eventually, 3 to 3rd and all that kind of thing, he eventually lost the case. He picked the phone and called President Shehu Shagari. And ever since, he taught all of us that the office of the presidency is so sacrosanct that you cannot just, it can be anybody. We are talking of the office. We are not talking of the person there.
So how will you refer to Buhari?
Yeah, anytime I will say President Buhari. Yeah. Sometimes you choose to say Buhari. It depends on how you are using it, what you are talking about. Now,
let me put this straight. Yeah. In academics, we're free to call Muhammadu Buhari without the title.
That's right.
In my own opinion, that's acceptable.
Yeah.
But if you want to respect his office, you are free to call him President Buhari. And if you want to be psychophantic, you can even go further.
That's what I've just said. I'm just giving you a historical background to my argument here. I am not, most of the time, of course, most of us, and we use the word Buhari and all that kind of thing, but it does not mean that we disrespect him. But the truth of the matter is...
you shouldn't take most of our time. Please, let's go on. This is a kitty matter. It's going to determine how 2019 will look like.
Again, not trying to speak for any political party. And again, like I said, I'm doing a program educating people, getting people to know why they want to vote for Party A, Party B, and so on and so forth. So at the end of the day,
what are you educating, October?
You see, this is also part of the problem because our people, because it's shameful to find out that for some politicians, making their people to carry bag of rice because they want them to vote for them. I'm saying you do not need that because the power is in you. You can use the power to make or break. So this is the part of the program I'm doing on Heritage TV.
Okay.
Now, but let me land. At the end of the day, here, the people of Ekiti should be allowed to decide for who they want to go for. It shouldn't be exclusive rights of any political party or anybody to say they must do this. I want the people of Ekiti to take decision when the election comes.
I think it's in bad state. It's in bad taste for you to assume that a particular party must continue to rule the state. It is in bad taste. You cannot speak for the people of Ekiti state.
I am not assuming.
You cannot tell us that if another party comes
Lady Yemi, I am not assuming a particular party.
No, you
what I'm saying is obvious. You see, when things are obvious, when things are obvious, people try to go through the back door. People try to go through the back door.
A caller, Emeka. Hello, Emeka. Hello, Emeka. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Where are you calling from?
Hello.
Hello. Where are you calling from?
Yeah, did you hear me?
We can hear you. I'm nodding.
Do you hear me?
I'm nodding my head. Yes.
Hello.
Hello. Speak on. Speak on.
I'm calling from London.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
I'm calling from London.
Okay, go ahead.
First, okay, I can see your head. You're knocking your head. Okay, thank you. Basically, let me say this. First, let me go back to the program. The first topic you guys were discussing, basically the issue of the NAS and the presidency rift, basically. When Buhari, again, I call him Buhari. The gentleman who called to say we should be calling him president or whatever, that's his own business. If he does that in his village, that's fine to him. In our democracy, I live in a civilized world. They call May. They don't call Mrs. May or all that. Nobody cares about that. So that's a trivial issue. So I'll call him Buhari. If he doesn't like it, up to him. Now, then the main issue regarding the NAS and the presidency. You see, when Buhari won the election, there was this euphoria that he's going to be doing this, he's going to be doing that, he's going to save the world and all that. I remember calling this very program then, 2 days or 3 days after that, to tell those who were making those comments that the fact of the matter is that until Nigeria goes to that 1999 constitution, the the Abacha constitution, aka the 1999 constitution, is the root of the problem Nigeria has. Until that, what we have been talking all this long has been kind of talking about the symptoms, but without addressing the disease. Until this issue of the Nigerian constitution is properly discussed and dealt with properly, that we have a people's-oriented constitution voted on, put on a kind of referendum where Nigerian people vote to agree with it or disagree with it. All these things we are having will still continue. A situation where the president has so much power, he can do and undo, cannot be good for democracy. A situation where the NAS doesn't seem not to know what their limits are, it can't be good for democracy. So the problem with Nigeria is, the root cause of Nigeria's problem is the 1999 constitution, which was made by the military, for the military, not for the Nigerian people. And the Nigerian never voted for it. So that is the main issue with Nigeria. And until that is addressed, we will continue talking about the issue until
So you are talking, in essence, you are talking about restructuring Nigeria.
For presidency, fine for him, but even if you have 100 parties, So long as that Nigerian constitution is in place, there is nothing anybody can do.
Okay, thank you very much, Emeka from London. We want to move on. Yesterday, the Chief of Army Staff, Buratai, went to Banana Island, and there was a protest that he could not start a military formation in the Banana Island. Let me just read this report as we have it. There was a mild drama on the Banana Island estate, Ikoyi, on Saturday after residents waylaid the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, who had allegedly visited the estate to inaugurate a project. Buratai, we were told, had been invited by the Nigeria Army Properties Limited to commission an estate, Apple Island, inside Banana Island. When the residents mobilized against the inauguration, the Chief of Army Staff, who was taken aback by the blockage, appealed to the protesters who alleged this matter. So what we are saying is that they did not allow Buratai to inaugurate Apple Island within Banana Estate. So within Banana Island. And I never knew that there was a Nigerian Army Properties Limited. Of course, there could be, but that's not. So they wanted, of all places, that the Nigerian Army will have an island is within Banana Island. And they have, according to the residents, they have sent soldiers all over the place. The place was swarmed with soldiers, and they were not feeling comfortable in Banana Island again. In fact, it's now like a military island. And so he apologized, and then he went back without inaugurating the Apple Island. What do you think is going on? Are we in a military state or what?
It's appalling. Like I keep saying, Nigeria is becoming an appalling state. Nigeria is a state with a government without governance. Nigeria is a country where people wake up and things just happen without any forms of directions or sensibility. Do you know, for those who don't know, who are living in the UK or abroad, you are watching me right now, you don't know. Banana Island is one of the most expensive islands in the whole of Nigeria.
The whole of the world.
In the whole of Nigeria. Mr. What do they call him? Otedola has a space in Banana Island with his house there, worth over 2 billion
Naira.
A plot
Are
of
you sure
a plot,
that
I am telling you.
Doc,
I have 2 friends that live in Banana Island,
and they know the worth of his house.
I know not what I have stayed in one of my friends' house in Banana Island. Not that they are telling, not the story. I have stayed there. No. One of the days I go to. My friend's property in Banana Island is not worth more than 1.2 billion.
More or less.
What less?
Not less than 1.2 billion. A land in Banana Island is not less than 500 million.
And that is where
That's
where the Nigerian Army.
What I'm asking now is, how did the army got so much money that they went and occupy a small, the Sanfile place and call it Apple Island and have their own property inside there? And why is it that in Nigeria, it's only in Nigeria and all over the world where they use 1 billion naira to build a project and use 500 million naira to commission or to invest?
Okay, let's ask others. Yemi, you've listened to the story. Let's take this story at the surface level. Buratai went, and the Banana Island resident said, no, he left without cutting the ceremonial tape. What is the army doing in a new island inside an island? Is that where we need to be? Or you should go to Borno and be fighting?
Doc, picking up from what Mr. Azu said, I think the first thing we need to ask ourselves as Nigerians is, where do people get money to obtain, to be able to get land from these choice areas, so to say? If by what he's saying, a plot of land goes for about 500 million, then we need to know that the people that are staying on that estate, we need to be able to certify that this is what they do and this is how they make their money. And that is what does not happen.
That they're paying their taxes.
That is what does not happen in Nigeria. So at the end of the day, we are free to assume that this money might not be gotten from their sweat, right? It certainly will not be from their pay packets. Now, the other question is, do they have a right to have an island within an island? If they are able to afford the property, then there's nothing.
We're talking of the Nigerian army here. We're not talking of a businessman. Nigerian army, what are they doing?
Remember, the vice president has a house there. That's where he lives before he became vice president, in Banana Island.
Yeah, he was a businessman.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying, that people, you need to ascertain people's means for them to be, for if anybody that is living
and
there,
he declared
Azu's friend included, we need to know, what do they do?
They are businessmen.
We need to know what
if the vice president is a businessman, then everybody is a businessman.
This kind of
Eric television starting in Banana Island.
Do you have a
of course, I know you are joking. I know you are joking. My mentioning heritage is like I'm doing everything possible to educate the ordinary people what they should be looking for and what they should do come 2019. Yeah, when we want to promote alternative to what we have here, we should also promote educating the people. Now, talking about, you see, again, I used the word mockery many times over today, and I want to use it again. It shows clearly that we are just group of people that are just not really serious. We're not serious. I don't know anywhere in the whole universe that part of the occupation of the army should include looking for a place to settle. Usually,
choice location.
I mean, it's not they are not supposed to be in luxury in any form or shape. I mean, it's a job. If they decide to go to army or police, they have to live by the standard that's affordable by the country. Now, having said all this, I've been to Banana Island many times before. For me, it's an obscene area.
Why?
And I'll tell you, it's obscene in the sense that you living in under a condition that you are forced to pay maintenance and everything in dollars. It shows like it's a congregation of people.
I think I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, you know, and also I need to correct the impression of Azu. I mean, I don't know where you find your 500 million. That would be half a plot. Because a full plot. No.
Come on, Tuma.
A full plot.
What's the difference between half a plot for 500 million and full plot?
But what I'm saying, that if you pay 500 million, you're not. If you pay 500 million for half a plot, that means you're looking at a 1 billion for a full plot.
Yeah, you are still on the same line now.
That is the thing. But let's move on to other point I want to make. Again, we have this problem with our people because of the amount of the mountain of poverty around. People do not know their rights. So I'm happy to hear that despite the fact that they live in a very obscene area, some people now say together, you know what, you can go and plant your apple somewhere else, and even if you're going to be here, you have to be within the confinement of our situation here.
So I'm happy the place with soldiers, they said the place was
I'm happy the people use their power. That, you know what, you can be army, go and fight in Gobe or some other places where you belong to. So I'm happy people are now coming up. And that's why I want to insist we should do more to educate our people, because they don't understand what it is that they are the power. They just think people can take away their power from them.
I mean, choose that place of all the places in Nigeria to create an island. Is it after they have built Dubai, they say, now let's go and spend the remaining money in Nigeria? Why?
Dr. Johnson, but these are the things that have been laid by all the government officials, all the people that have been in government, BRME, all the armed forces that have stolen money and they use it
let me quickly
to oppress their own people.
Time is fast going. Let me call let me respond to our caller, Abbas.
Hello.
Hello. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from London.
Is this the Abbas DJ?
Yes, it is. Hi, good afternoon, sir.
Because when I saw your name, I say, could it be the big man himself?
I'm a public servant. I remain one still, sir. Long time, sir.
Industry.
Okay, you have the floor. Tell us everything.
Any other?
Yes, first and foremost, I'm loving your set. It's looking absolutely beautiful today.
Oh, thank you.
Pleasure. And I think I'm just calling to put certain things into some form of perspective. First and foremost, Banana Island is one of the most expensive real estate in the world.
Yeah.
And I think I don't see anything particularly wrong with having
such area of land in Nigeria if it's going to ultimately add to the nation Nigeria. And we need to also realize that Nigeria in the last, since 1999 when we moved into the second or third republic, the military still have a very, very strong hand in the way things are run. The current president is a former military leader. We've had a retired General Olusegun Obasanjo, who was also a leader. And it would take between 3 to 4 generations before the power of the military kind of dissipates and true democracy ultimately will filter in. So it doesn't matter who's there now, who was there before, who's going to be in power within the next second, third, or fourth elections. The military would, over time, slowly move out. Now, the Nigerian constitution is obsolete. I have a friend who used to be resident in the UK and recently returned to Nigeria and is going, he's doing his bar exams in Nigeria. And it brought to my knowledge that the Nigerian constitution is so obsolete and the rate at which improvements and updates are being made are quite slow. So why I'm trying to make this point is these are things that are hindering governance in itself. And while the administration would have its fault, the fact remains that the bedrock on which we have built our democracy is still not solid. So the constitution needs to improve and needs to be worked on and brought up to date. And hopefully we'll see this happen within the next 5 to 8 years. And then proper governance and improvement in governance would come. Banana Island, I'm still hoping one day maybe I'll be able to afford a plot there. You never know. So I'm working twice as hard while living in the UK.
You will work 24/7.
The island is not the problem. It's probably the running and the management of it.
All right, let me ask you a quick question. Given all what has happened in the last 72 hours between Saraki, National Assembly, and Buhari, how do you think the world is looking at us? I mean, Nigeria is a big country in the Committee of Nations, but the way we are running our country, how do you think they are rating us in their own mind?
Well, all these things affect relationships, affect development. The way the whole world sees Nigeria is all dependent on how we portray ourselves within ourselves. But the fact remains that these problems will still keep happening as long as we have a constitution that's not up to date. There's a certain mindset, and change is more than just a 6-letter word. It starts with changing how people think. For some reason, somebody on the panel alluded to the fact that we need to be educated as a people. A lot of Nigerians still do not know what their rights are. Yeah. So it's not enough to just, change has to come with re-energizing, re-educating the public, knowing what their rights are. And when I heard the breaking news about the Senate President linked with people who...
armed robbery,
ultimately, the problem in Nigeria right now is if you pick somebody or you mention the name of somebody doing something wrong, what you hear next is, but he's not the only one now. So everybody justifies one crime or one wrong with another wrong. That is a mindset problem. Wrong is wrong and should be addressed as such. So it's a 360 affair that starts with the framework, which is the Constitution, which is faulty and very, very obsolete. That needs to be brought up to date.
Yeah,
that is not addressed.
I think you are absolutely right. Once Saraki's name was linked with the armed robbery, those for him and those against him, and everybody is, or people like me, were thinking, you have to deal with this matter judicially, legally, go for it. But at the same time, every other person linked with every other negative thing should be brought forefront. I think that's the challenge in all of this.
Presumption. The presumption is there's a presumption of innocence until proven guilty. Yeah. So obviously there has to be a process, and we need to go through all these processes. It's not enough to just make allegations. We need to go through the processes, and it needs to be thorough, and it needs to be dealt with as and when they come up. Okay. So when these things come up, it needs to be addressed properly. What would not happen, as you and I know, is to have everybody now being investigated because somebody has done wrong. You only deal with the situations when they come up. But if it's not dealt with properly when they come up, the fact remains that we're still going around in circles, and therein lies the problem.
All right, final question, because you're a diasporan. How ready do you think we are in England, for example, for contestants, presidential aspirants like Ali Shoyode, Showore, Mogolu, and Fela Durotoye. Do you think we are really ready for this younger generation to come in, or we are just paying lip service?
Well, we live in the UK, and we are bound by laws in this country. And you've mentioned Dr. Ali Shoyode and Showore, who are two diasporans who have excelled. And the reason why people actually are listening to them is because Brent TV has been on air for 15 years. You know, that is a project that has delivered not just for diasporans, but for Nigerians at large globally. So that makes the candidate in Ali Shoyode proper to actually chase that goal. And you and I know via this platform. Same thing with Mr. Showore, who's obviously also, you know, developed or created a platform that has pretty much taken over the world. The diaspora has a major role to play in Nigeria moving forward.
Yeah.
Last year, it was estimated that Nigerians in the diaspora remitted in excess of $22 billion.
Dollars
to Nigeria.
Yeah.
That is the second largest revenue generator for Nigeria.
That's correct.
So you need to take diasporans seriously. Can you imagine a situation where 22 billion pounds is taken out of the Nigerian economy? Nigeria will collapse, and that's fact.
That's correct.
So we need to have a say, and a strong say at that. But however, it still brings me back to the Constitution. If the Constitution is not right, diasporans will not be recognized.
Yeah.
It's a cycle, and it starts with the foundation. Take care of the foundation, and then you can build up from there.
DJ Abbas, thank you very much for calling. Otumba, what's the last take for today?
My last statement, I want to continue doing what I'm doing by educating the people, the electorate, to know what
social mobilization.
Yes, to know where they are facing come 2019. And if they want to find alternative, they should know how to go about it.
Heritage TV must pay us adverts. Yes.
What can I say? I just want to wish my beautiful state, Ekiti State, all the very best. A lot of eyes are on us, and a lot of people are waiting to see what we're going to deliver. So please let us do the very best that we can for our people and for the
Not the least gossip. You are waiting for them in Ekiti.
Well, I want to wish all the aspiring aspirants, young diasporans and young domestic local aspirants that are aspiring for the presidential seat of Nigeria, all the very best. All I ask is to not take the Nigerian electorate and the Nigerian people for granted. They cannot be taken for granted a second time again. Once beaten, twice shy.
Okay, that's what they say. Once beaten, twice shy. For Nigeria, maybe many times beaten. We'll have to. But on that note, we have to end the show. We'll be bringing to you latest next Wednesday from all these shenanigans we have seen on the Nigerian democratic scene. More Nollywood movie still to come. We will be there with them and for you. My name is Shegun Johnson. Until next Wednesday, God bless you.